Hello, YouTube and fellow resellers. My name's Kevin, the Stoic Reseller. I'm back at you, finally, with another What Sold. I'm going to actually go over a few things in this one, specifically like weeks, since I haven't done this in about 3 weeks or so. This will be the first one in April, I guess. If you're new here, I buy new and used clothing, sell that on Poshmark and eBay. My channel is more focused on higher end items with a very distinct, targeted approach to sell-through rate, to price item, to items that just do good. And we talk about the intrinsic issues in the world as well, including the economy, including how eBay is working, and including how everything else works in this world. So, if you're into that kind of stuff, please comment down below, like, subscribe, and let's jump right into it. So, let's look here. We got the numbers from last week. That actually doesn't help anyone. So, we had a total of 58 sales on eBay last week. And that might seem kind of low considering, it's been kind of an oddity in terms of, well, hold on. What is going on with the screen here? Oops. Let me bring it over here. Let me fix some of this. Let me move myself. And then we got this, which needs to be adjusted. Huh. Look at me. I'm learning. You're learning. You're seeing shit. Actually, you're not seeing anything. Oh, come on. There we go. And I swear to God, this program sometimes is ridiculous. There we go. All right. So those sales may seem low, but please note that the last 2 weeks I have not been home. I've been on the road. I've been in Montana for my quote-unquote real job. Fortunately, my wife has been able to stay home. She's helps me with the business now. She did a lot of great things. She did the creating like the fake draft where she just kind of gave me the description. She uploaded the pictures, took the pictures, and did all the shipping. Basically ran the business whilst I was gone. Fortunately, we had enough items that we could do 13 items per day, and that's going to last. That is basically 13 items per day for 3 weeks. So we did for the 2 weeks that I was away was 13 items per day, and then this week is 13 items per day as well. Real quick note on that. I actually didn't see, obviously the amount of sales is down, right? But in terms of velocity of sales, in terms of like what I expected to have happen, which was the algorithm to kill me and destroy me, that didn't happen, guys. And in fact, I'm actually doing better than when I was by myself, and I'm only listing one more than my individual max capacity with a full-time job. So these numbers may seem low to you compared to my last What Sold video, which we were doing, I believe at the time, 18 to 24 items per day. So let's just jump into this. I did 58 total sales on eBay for an average sales price of $35.34. That's including shipping for $2,049.51. My cost of goods has dropped after my last thrift trip down to $9.60 per item. That is great. This is coming down gradually. My goal by the end of the year is to get as close to $9 as possible, which is challenging considering the thrift stores like to charge whatever the frick they want to charge. Sometimes I saw the most egregious thing the other day when I was thrifting. The thrift store saw a North Face jacket and they wanted $75 for it. So anyways, cost of goods cost me $556.80. My average sales cost 29.6%. Guys, do remember, I promote now. And so this average sales cost is a 3-month rolling average. And I've been promoting for about a month and a half now. This has barely ticked upward at all. Maybe 0.5% to 1%. So 29.6%. I'm still under that 30%, which is very important for me. So that cost me $606.65, leaving me a gross profit of $886.06 or 43.23% of sales. I charge myself 15% on for taxes. That's $307.43, leaving me a net profit clean and free after paying all expenses, $578.63 or 28.23%. That is only on eBay. Guys, I have a whole nother system in Poshmark where we had 48 sales. This average price per sale does not include shipping. So $26.40, and that's buyer pay shipping, but not calculated into that. We had $1,267.26 in sales. Cost of goods is $9.60 for $460.80. My average sales cost, Poshmark is a flat 20%. So that's $253.45, leaving me a gross profit of $553.01 or 43.64%. So something interesting here, guys, is the gross profit percentage from Poshmark to eBay is about the same, and that includes also the net profit. That's really interesting to me because, again, I repeat this, Poshmark has a fraction of the customer base that eBay has, and I still am able to grow both of them at the same time and doing great things. So last week, guys, we listed 106 total items, my wife and I. Listed 91. We sold 106 for 116.48% sell-through rate of my store for the last week. Total sales equated to $3,316.77, leaving me a total net profit of $941.55. That is after all fees, and an average profit per item of $8.88. That might be kind of interesting to you guys because a lot of people, I think, look to double up after everything's said and done on in the clothing market, but that's just not the case. I'm running do this live here. I'm running a 92.5% profit margin per item that I buy. And I hope, obviously you want to increase that, but a 92.5% profit margin is better than no profit margin. And also what's interesting about these numbers is I have sold a significant amount of old items. I'm talking items I've had for over a year. I've sold at least 3 or 4, which is crazy to me because those typically take forever to sell. I'm just happy to get rid of them. And a lot of those I took losses on. So the fact that I had that percentage of, profit margin is still amazing. And then for those who care, Poshmark was 38.21% of my sales for last week. We are going to go over the top 10 of last week, and then I'm going to give you 5 bonus items from the last 2 weeks. And I hope that you guys all learned something. The one key takeaway from this is which might be the new way of having to do thrifting, is pay up when the item is good. So I have a vague remembrance of what these cost me. Obviously, my average buy cost is $9.60, but I will let you know what I paid for these at the thrift store. So in no particular order, starts with these. These are the cool Destroyer cargo pants, brand new with tags, as you can see. I spent $25 at the thrift store. These sold in a matter of days, guys, for $60 plus shipping. So this was a great item. Like I said, it kind of blew me away that it sold so quickly because the sales comparisons were not that great. The sell-through rate was pretty low, far more listed than have sold. And that's a good bring into another video I have to talk about is sell-through rate and how do we need to really think about it because I believe what most people think of the sell-through rate is inaccurate. But anyways, but to take a chance, a good brand, new with tags, you're not going to leave this behind. I knew I could get a good 60 plus for this, and sometimes you just got to take a chance, guys. If your thrift stores are overpricing items like this one, just know what you have. If it's a good brand, pay it up and move on. Next item is Icebreaker. This is also another amazing brand, guys. This was something that if you looked up the comps weren't very good either. And in fact, they were very hard to really kind of look up. So this was the Icebreaker GT 320 Expedition weight, meaning this was a heavier weight of merino wool. This was a men's XL, which was a great size. I paid $20 for this. And, I just kind of knew that this brand is excellent. The jackets particularly have a much higher average sales price. So I priced it at $60. I accepted an offer of $50 for this. So another high dollar priced in this thrift store item that sold for a lot of money on eBay. And again, I think this started April 10th, and I want to say, does this tell me? I don't think it tells me when it's sold. No, it doesn't. But anyways, it only took a few days, guys. It took maybe like 5 days. So, moving on. Here is Wool X, guys. Wool X, let me get to the label there. This is an amazing merino wool performance brand. There's very little on eBay, and the very little equates to a lot more solds, leading to a higher sell-through rate than on average. Like Smart Wool is probably your most common performance merino wool brand that I find, and this outperforms it on price and sell-through rate drastically. So these were like some leggings. Some base layer leggings. You can see I added full length. This was an important keyword. Most of the leggings I saw on eBay in the solds or even active were like 7/8 or a half legging. And I did notice that these full length leggings command a higher price and had a pretty much an essentially 100% sell through rate, meaning that there's only like 1 or 2 listed and like 20 sold. So really crazy item here. Sold, I think I took an offer of $48, and again, this only took less than 3 days. Oh, sorry for that, guys. Stupid phone. But yeah, Wool X, guys. If you see this, now the thrift stores don't know everything. This was something I picked up for $8, so just for reference. Here's something that the thrift stores always know. This is Diesel. Even these jeans here, I listed these on March 20th. They took until about, they were already delivered. No, they weren't. They'll be delivered this Thursday. Wait, what? Where did this sell to? This must have sold overseas or something, because that's kind of, unless this is, I don't know. I'm just not even going to pay attention to that. eBay's got some weird shit going on here. But anyways, this is Diesel. This is the Slinker, weighs 34 by 32. These were pretty dang good sale. Most Diesel, if you look it up, there is hundreds, if not thousands, of Diesel pants with these specific style names. There's all sorts of them. You'll just have to look it up for yourself. Some do way better than others. There is one specific style name that still sells between $70 to $80. Most, from my understanding, sell between $30 and $50. This was a higher end on the 50. And, it took about 2 to 3 weeks to sell. But again, I paid probably $15 for this. And again, I'm not going to shy away from a high-priced sale where I know it's an easy double up at a minimum. And, moving on. McCade, guys, or Macad, or however you pronounce this brand. I'm not 100% sure. Here is the logo. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you look at these shorts, they look cheap as heck. They feel way better than they look, okay? Now, McCade is a really strong golf brand. I find it very rarely, and I'm talking very occasionally, maybe once every month, if that. Very strong brand still. Has a lot of, doesn't have a ton of listings, but the sales velocity is really high. And right now, going into the prime, beginnings of spring, this is the items that you want to be buying. This only took a few days to sell. I accepted an offer of $43. Jack Archer. Now, okay, so this is a brand that I accidentally found because, if you look at it, it's very unassuming. Okay, it almost feels like a fake Lululemon. It almost looks like a fake Lululemon. But the quality and the feel of it was really high end, and you have to dig for the logo here. This is actually on the back left or back right pocket. But if you look up Jack Archer, look it up. The sell-through rate is amazing. Definitely within a sell-through rate you should be absolutely picking up no matter what. And I paid only $10 because the thrift stores don't know these. But the thing is these don't sell at a store that I'm aware of. I was only able to really locate this brand from online resources. They have their own website. It's kind of like, you know, Built. You're not finding Built in a retail store. You're finding Built online only. That's one of these. This is a very strong brand, by the way, guys. Sold, again, only took about a week or so to sell. Actually, this was a return, and then it sold within the same day that I relisted it. But yeah, I think I sold this for like $44 and only paid $10. Now, okay, here's another merino wool performance brand. Had some stains on it. I'm not sure what those were. I try not to wash these, but you can see here, these are the Smartwool Intranet line. This is their very high-end line. It's very expensive. I mean, I believe these cost over $100 brand new at the retail store. And yeah, and if you're ever curious, Smartwool, their style number. So if you're going to Google and you really want to find the style of what you have, it starts with SW followed by those numbers. Type that into Google and you'll get exactly what it is. So you see here, I added the thermal merino 200 base layer because that is what the actual item name is. You won't get that from here. I'm sure though, if you added just Intranet merino 200 base layer, it would do it pretty close to the same. But you know, smart wool is something you, even in poor condition, is going to sell regardless. Just make sure you're not overpaying for items that are destroyed or have holes in them. These were in pretty damn good condition, and even with the stain, guys, which I know will wash out, I got $50 in a matter of 2 weeks. So, and we're running out of the season for something like this. So, again, Smartwool, guys, shouldn't need any introduction. You see this weird little dude with the question mark and whatever, you're going to buy that. You need to buy it. Here's a brand that I've pounded the rock on this channel for a significant amount of time, yet I still find these in the men's section all the time. This is Frank and Eileen. This is the, we're really digging deep into my women's knowledge here with the high-low, which is basically the low is in the front and you got the high is here and the low is in the back. It's just a fashion thing, I guess, guys. But Frank and Eileen, great brand. Something I have noticed is the sell-through rate is starting to slip and the prices are starting to come down. There are certain styles within the brand that are still commanding tons of money. The pants are where the real money's at. But I mean, I only picked this up for maybe $10 at the most. Sold for about $38 to $40, and it only took about a week and a half. Here is something that everyone has access to. Maybe not these exact shorts, but everyone has access to Hurley. Hurley is literally everywhere. And, here's something I'm going to let you guys in. So in Montana, I did go to their thrift stores. Their thrift stores were, pretty beat down, their Goodwills, but they still had good stuff. And the great thing about it was they had base pricing. None of their stuff was like, oh, because it's Patagonia, it's $30. No, it was like for a basic shirt was $7, regardless of what brand it was. But what I didn't notice is I don't find the Nike pieces I don't find the board shorts or really any of the activewear. So I've come to realize, and I should have known this ahead of time, that it's really selective as to where you find these things, and I may be just fortunate enough. But at the same time, guys, I am traveling 4 hours away and spending a weekend away from my family to source. So at the end of the day, I don't feel bad or I actually have zero sympathy for people who say I can't source anything, because I work a full-time plus job and am still able to do this. I mean, I understand my family is working with me to do this, and it makes my wife's dreams come true, and it supports us as a family. But at the end of the day, I'm putting in the hard work, the time, effort, and sacrifice to make this work. So please keep that in mind. I've seen a lot of people in other channels comment that I just can't find anything. Sourcing sucks. This, that, and a bag of chips, and it's just like, dude, find other ways. I mean, I was just listening to Daily Refinement for the first time in probably a year, and I mean, one of the things he's done is own Whatnot. I mean, he basically now put all the money that he had, and he started buying stuff directly from directly from Hurley. You know, there's a million different ways to do this, guys. You just have to find the one that works for you. Back to the item, though. If you ever find Hurley crossed or like with a team up with the Olympics, regardless of country, it will always command a ton of money. I have found the Brazil and the Kenya shorts multiple times. The Brazil shorts I've found twice. The Kenya ones I've found once. The Kenya ones sold for closer to 40. These Brazil shorts sold within 2 hours of me listing for my full asking price. Yeah, Hurley's everywhere, guys. You know, and if you're finding Hurley sells every day. And the one thing I strongly recommend is, just getting very intimate with the brand. And what I mean by that is searching it up and understanding what all the different styles are. Find exactly what those styles sell and how much for on eBay. And then this way you're not passing that stuff up. I pass up a lot of Hurley because I'm a quality seller over a quantity seller. And, but I do know not to pass this up. If I remember correctly, the tag, oh, there was some damage there. I didn't even see that. Well, hopefully the person, oh man, that's bad. But, excuse me, the still recovering from my sinus infection. Not 100%, I'm like 95. But yeah, so, I pass up on a ton of Hurley. I don't pass up these. I have the wherewithal and the knowledge to not pass these up. And you shouldn't either. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got one more. We got these Prana pants. And then we're going to go into the top 5 sales from the 2 weeks prior to last week. Again, Prana Hail pants. I have sold these for literally every year that I have worked, or every year that I've resold. Prana Hail pants have been around for a while. They have a strong following. Size 0 even. These sold within about 3 or 4 days for my full asking price of $35. Prana pants in general have started to slowly come down on overall pricing, but these still, I price them at $35. They still sell pretty frequently between $30 and $35, and they do sell on Poshmark and eBay, which is what I've noticed with most women brands that I pick up. There's velocity on both websites, which gives me more, more confidence overall that the women's brands that I take the time to try to find are paying off. So, but moving on, so those were the top 10 on eBay last week. Now the 2 weeks that I haven't shared, I'm going to share with you here. This is Fjallraven or however you want to pronounce this. But this brand, if you see it, pay up. I paid $25 for this sweater, and it sold, I want to say within a week, maybe, for $85. That's it. There was minor pilling throughout. This was an amazing find. I'll pay $25. If the rack was just all of these for $25, I guess it would have been an expensive rack, but I would have made a lot of money. Taylor Stitch is another brand that you should not be passing up. All of their items sell. Now, I will admit that their shirts are starting to reduce in sell-through rate and reduce in price. However, their jackets, pants, and jacket, pants, and shorts still do pretty strong, do really well. And then they also have some crossovers. I actually found they had a crossover with, oh God, what was the brand? I forgot. I'll need to locate it again, but they do a crossover with another brand, and that does really well. But yeah, what made this one nice was this was a 100% merino wool sweater. I got positive feedback on this. The one thing you really want to make sure, guys, when finding merino wool, or really any wool at all, is did it shrink? This was a medium, it was a large. So I could tell, you could tell if an item shrank just by looking at the buttons in the front, right? So if the buttons are like, these are just normal, like scrunched in the center there. But if these were like really tight, and then like you see right here, so here's the buttons. So this section right here, if this was recessed in, the item has shrunk. Or when you could obviously look at it and tell it's shrunk. You see that with Pendleton a lot. But yeah, This was in an awesome condition, sold within also about a week for $60. Moving on. There was a time where I found like 5 Fjallraven items, and they almost all have sold. And the nice thing about Fjallraven is most of the tags will tell you exactly what the item is. So there you go. These are the Ovik pants, sold for $70 in about, I don't know, a week and a half. Still a really strong brand. I mean, you're not getting these prices for Cool or Patagonia. Here's an interesting find. $70 for a Lululemon Surge shorts. Oh, but Kevin, what are you talking about? Well, if you don't know, Lululemon has a limited edition line called Seawees. It's a stupid name, but anytime you see the Lululemon logo and items around or anything around the Lululemon logo like this, that is the Seawees collection. You can almost do a search. You can do like the Google image search on it. But yeah, these were pretty hard to find comps for. I just priced high because I had no idea. And they sold. I think I took an offer of $60, and I think I only paid like $10. The thrift store was slipping on this one. And the last item I want to show you is Alex Mill. This is a Huckberry brand, or at least it's popularized by Huckberry. But this is an amazing brand. I buy almost everything in this. You can see that this was even a small waist for a man at size 29. This was the standard pleated pant cuffed cropped retro. Sold for $60. This sold in 3 days. So there you go. There's a bolo for you. Alex Mill is great. I buy everything. Their shirts have a slower sell-through rate, but pretty much everything else is just stellar. The last little bit is I want to go over last week's sales on Poshmark. This video is getting a little long. I'm just going to kind of stop and show the high dollar ones. So here's Viore. This is a Henley sold on Poshmark for $38. Rain Spooner. This is one of my favorite brands, guys. Rain Spooner is literally my favorite brand to sell. Do you want to know why? Not because it commands a serious amount of money, but everyone passes up on Hawaiian shirts because they just do. And I don't know why. I really don't. And it's kind of hilarious. But I got $31 for that. Some Lululemon. Stio is one of my favorite outdoor brands. Free Fly, REI. Japan Blue Jeans. This is an interesting brand. Hard to pull comps up because it's such a generic name. But here's the... let me get the better photo of that. Here is the logo on the back, but you can tell like there's really no other characteristics to this other than it says Japan Blue Jeans. And this was salvage. You want to make sure it's salvage. These sold pretty quickly. Really good price too, $63. That's fucking, and you can't beat that. North Face, Peter Millar, Viore bundle. I got a lot of bundles on Poshmark, which was really good. Athleta has been selling out of my store so quickly. Franca was a new brand. If you look this up, it's like a women's contour brand, but the material felt so good, and you look it up, and it was just, the comps were amazing. They're not super expensive on their website either, so to get $40, I think it's like $60 or $70 for a brand new pair. BK, of course, Lululemon. I had a bunch of Carhartt. I found like 3 or 4 pairs of the force-fitted leggings. This person bought 2 of them. Figs. I'm still buying the Figs bottoms only, or the Figs jackets. If you find the sweaters or jackets, they do well as well. Steel pants, Nike Yoga, Dixon. This was a women's flannel. Viore for men. G4. You shouldn't have to really do anything or have to really get an introductory to that. Columbia. I don't buy much Columbia. There's like the Silver Ridge short and or Silver Ridge shirt and some of the PFG lines I'll buy. But when you get stuff like this, it just had an American flag on the side. It's good enough. I mean, I got $17 for it. I didn't pay that much. Seeger is a brand that I've only found once, and it's sold. It's a Huckberry site brand. They do pretty much everything, but this was a low-level item of theirs. Still sold for $20. A bundle of Peter Millar shirts, some Aria Co-op, and Mountain Hardware. I've been digging deep into this brand to understand because I see it all the time. And this was one of the items I decided to keep picking up now. So, yeah, there you go, guys. I'll bring up the sales totals again. But yeah, last week was great. You know, it really did hit kind of unexpectedly having to leave out of town for a couple weeks. But fortunately, we had enough to list, and we still are listing 13 a day. Sales really did hit a dip because we're not doing 24 a day, but you know, still strong enough to make it by. I mean, I can't complain with this. The store's really active. I'm getting good sales. There's been a couple dud days, but you know what? I'm not going to complain. You know, proof's in the pudding, guys. You put the work in. Sometimes you just get what you put in. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the little bell button to get notified of my videos. Comment below what is something you learned in this video, if you learned anything, or you can let me know what you think of me in the video. How about that? But until next time, guys, remember to never forget to rule the day.